Some might call Syracuse, New York, the grand poobah when it comes to lacrosse recruiting. A tough nut to crack, but once you're in, you're in. Our next inductee cracked that recruiting nut open for Coach Jancic, and the fruit was well worth it. 121 goals, 128 assists, 249 points, 4 conference titles. Let's hear exactly why Tim DeMore takes his spot in the Hall of Athletic Honor tonight.
Tim DeMore joined the Gettysburg men's lacrosse program in 1991 from near Syracuse, New York. He became a key part of the team's success during his time, and his legacy has lasted the almost 30 years since his graduation. One of the top attackmen in the history of Gettysburg men's lacrosse, he still holds 2 of the top spots on the program leaderboards.
So we recruited Timmy from West Genesee High School. I think he probably had the finest high school coach, it's certainly one of the finest ever. And Tim was a good athlete, but a great stick handler. You know, I think his stick handling ability, being something he didn't have to think about. He could see the field, he could think about his next move, he could see what's going on, who to pass it to, simply because he never got the ball taken away very much. His knowledge of the game, his feel for the game was probably ahead of the game, in my opinion, and I think that's what made him the player that he was. It was really a great day for me and for the program when the day he called me and said he was coming to Gettysburg.
Over his 4 years, DeMore set the program records for career points with 249 and assists with 128. His single-season point total of 93 his junior year was also a new high for the program. All 3 of these records still stand 28 years later. DeMore was a 2-time first-team All-Centennial Conference selection and a 2-time second-team All-American honoree. A team captain his senior year, he led the Bullets to 4 conference titles and 4 NCAA tournament appearances. To this day, he is the only player to record 13 points in a single game, which he did twice during his career.
You know, I think Tim was his own man, was fun-loving. I think in the locker room, he could be a lot of fun and loosen things up a little bit. At the same time, when practice came around, he was really serious, wanted to get it done for 2 hours. And I think he helped us get the most out of our players. He wasn't afraid to say what he felt, and I really thought that was awesome. And 9 out of 10 times he was on the money. I know he wanted to be successful. I think he was an asset, almost an extension of the coaching staff and where we were going and what we wanted to do.
In 1994, DeMore helped the men's lacrosse team reach new heights in the NCAA playoffs, making it to the semifinal round for the first time.
We beat Denison in 3 overtimes. And it got us to the second round of the NCAAs. Timmy scored the winning goal, but the funny thing about it was he scored the winning goal, and he knew everyone was going to go nuts, so he took off. Not even near the field, he just kept running, you know. Finally, everybody caught him. It was a great, great win. It was a really big deal to us, and Timmy was a huge part of that.
DeMore graduated from Gettysburg College in 1995 with a degree in political science. He then went on to Syracuse University College of Law, graduating in 1999. Today, DeMore is a successful personal injury attorney and is the owner of DeMore Law Firm, PLLC, in Syracuse, New York.
Timmy DeMore deserves to be in the Hall of Fame at Gettysburg College because he had a stellar career. He is a great student. He represented our program very well, and he's definitely the kind of person, the kind of friend, the kind of leader, the kind of teammate that we aspired to have at Gettysburg, and he was at the top.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tim DeMore.
Good evening. First, like the other recipients, I'd like to thank the Orange and Blue Club and the nominating committee for nominating me. This is a tremendous honor. I'm truly humbled and honored because I love Gettysburg. I love all things Gettysburg. I love my teammates, coaches, and all the students that were here. When I graduated from high school, as Coach Janzik indicated in the video, I played for a Hall of Fame high school coach, a high school called West Genesee, where we were #1 in the country my junior and senior year. And many players on my team went Division I, and I had some opportunities and looked at some Division I schools, but my parents said to me, what I want you to do is when you go look at a college, figure out where you feel most comfortable. Figure out if you blow out your knee on the first day of school, where you're going to stay and what kind of people you want to be around. Well, I came down to Gettysburg in February of my senior year, and when I left Syracuse, it was 20 degrees, blowing, snowing like you wouldn't believe, and it was one of those random days here in Gettysburg where like today, there was no clouds in the sky, it was beautiful, it was 55 degrees, and I was like, yep, this is where I'm comfortable. So I knew that this was the right place for me. And I've made lifelong friends here, and I'm eternally grateful for that. I've got a lot of people to thank, but I'm going to be brief. The first two people are my parents. I would give anything for them to have been here tonight. Both my parents love Gettysburg. They love my friends, my teammates, the coaches, and the other parents on the team. They became part of the fabric of Gettysburg lacrosse. They travel up and down the East Coast, and my junior and senior year, they didn't miss a game. And that seems to be a theme here tonight. I heard from my other inductees that their parents went to games, and it makes a big difference. And I miss my parents tremendously. My father passed away suddenly in 2009. And they were great parents. They were great grandparents to my children, and they would have been very proud tonight. They were proud of all things Gettysburg, and I know everyone, my teammates who remember them, miss them as much as we do. Speaking of my teammates, I'd like to thank them as well, especially the guys who made it down here tonight, Kevin Cordell, Glenn Mulligan, Brian McGurn, Noah Davis, and his father, Judd. And in particular, there's one guy I want to thank for coming here tonight. He was a junior when I was a freshman, and his name is Sandy Cook. Sandy's in the back of the room there, and this is a quick story that Sandy has been looking credit for since 1992. 1992 was my freshman year on this team. And we were about 5 or 6 games into the year, and we were playing Widener College, and they just weren't very good. And I was not starting on the team at that point. I was still trying to work my way up, and we were up by 20-some-odd goals with 4 minutes to go. And Coach Janzik calls a timeout and says, look, we're up 20, no more shooting. Nobody shoot. That's it. Just pass it around. Let's win with some class. Well, Sandy Cook turns to me and says, Tim, you do realize that you have 6 goals, 6 assists right now. If you have one more point, you set a school record. I said, Sandy, I can't shoot. I'll never get on the field again. Coach would kill me. He goes, no problem. Just feed me. I'll take care of the rest. Sure enough, next possession down, I hit Cooker on the crease. He stuffs it in the goal. I get an assist by that, so therefore I own the school record. Cooker's getting screamed at by Coach Janzik to come off of. And he turns to me and he says, you better mention me in the interview when you get interviewed by the paper. So Cooker, I'm not sure if I actually got interviewed, but here's your time in the limelight, buddy. The next person I want to thank, obviously, is Coach Janzik. Coach Janzik is old school, and I use that term in the most respectful manner possible. He was more interested in raising respectful young men who did the right thing when no one was watching, as opposed to winning a game or getting a goal or an assist. He held us all accountable at a time when we all thought we knew everything there was to know. Coach Janczyk is a man of character and integrity, and I'm proud to have played for him. It should be noted that he himself, who's already been inducted in the Hobart Hall of Fame and another Hall of Fame, is now going to be in the National Lacrosse Coaches Hall of Fame in Florida down in December, and I plan to be there to support him for that. I was really lucky to have played for Coach. And I want to give one example. One of the pictures that came up here was a picture of me with a terrible haircut, and Coach Janczyk and his wife Cindy. In 2019, I had a tremendous health scare. I had an aortic aneurysm, and I had to go to the Cleveland Clinic to get open heart surgery. Obviously, I was terrified, wasn't sure what was going to happen, and Coach Janczyk heard about it and called me and talked to me before I left for Cleveland. And not only did he call me, but he got word out to the team, and I would say over 70 guys, people who played 20 years after me to people who played 10 years before me, calling me and wishing me luck. Well, that surgery was in May of 2019, and July of 2019, Coach Janczyk called again to check in on me, and he said, look, Cindy and I, coaches from Rochester, and he said, we have relatives, or he has relatives he's going to visit in Rochester. He'd like to come up to Syracuse on the way, stop and sit and talk with me for a little bit. So, great. So Coach came up, met my family, and he and Cindy sat with me for 3 hours. And I was on some pretty heavy medication and whatnot. And he sat there, and we talked, and we laughed. The laughing part kind of hurt, but it was great. This was 24 years after I last played for him. That shows you the type of man that Coach Janczyk is. And Coach, I just wanted to thank you for everything you've done for me, for all the guys who played for you. We are better men, husbands, fathers, and friends because of you. Finally, I'd like to thank my family. My sister Sarah is sitting with us tonight. She flew in from San Francisco. And Sarah, I truly appreciate that. My wife Maggie and my 4 great children. Maggie and I are proud of each of them. Claire, our oldest, is a junior at Colgate University, and she couldn't be here tonight because she's doing something I've never done, and that's studying on a Friday night for an exam on a Monday. And that's true. My son Charlie's here. He's a senior in high school, 3-sport athlete. Teddy, he plays lacrosse and golf for his high school team. Still can't beat me in golf, but that's okay. And then Lucy, our youngest, is a freshman in high school. And she's 5'10" and a fantastic volleyball player, so the volleyball team better watch out. Lastly, I want to thank my wife, who is the leader of our family. Her unwavering loyalty and devotion to the kids is second to none. Mags, I know that I haven't always been the easiest person to get along with, but I want to publicly acknowledge your selflessness, and it does not go unnoticed or unappreciated. We've been married for 21 years, been through a lot, and I want you to know that although I can be a pain, I appreciate everything you do for me and the kids. Thank you, everyone. This is a tremendous honor, and go Bullets.